And we are live.
Nice hat, Tim.
Thank you.
Are we
I like
though?
everything about it except that it's blue.
How dare you? Logan is convinced. I have this and I have another Fallout hat with the Vault Boy on it. I gotta adjust the cameras here. But he is absolutely convinced that I am on my hat.
Oh.
He does not
'Cause
believe me.
blonde.
He does not believe me that it is not me.
Maybe if you still had a beard, he would believe you.
Maybe,
Yeah.
but he does not. So,
He doesn't
anyway,
believe it's you without a hat.
no. He doesn't. He doesn't believe that this on my hat is not me. He's convinced that I am the Vault Boy.
I mean,
I have.
is he wrong?
He is wrong.
Is
Not
he though?
not by much.
I think you are the biggest Fallout. I almost said Fallout boy.
He
Well,
is the biggest
Fallout
Fallout
I'm
boy.
the biggest Fallout boy you know.
fan that I know. So yeah.
Probably. Anyway, so welcome to this week's episode of Our Life in Pixels. How's everybody doing this week? How are you guys? How's it? I haven't talked to you guys much this week, so
Doing good, man. Except that my new position at work has me working weird hours, and I feel like all day people have been like, "Oh, we should do this," and I'm like, I can't because my hours are fucky now.
yeah, I hear that.
I'm living that life of being up all night. So yeah.
I've lived that life for a very long time. I'm
Yeah.
kind of happy to not be on that life anymore.
I still hopefully will not be doing this next month.
We'll see. We will see. Anyway, so welcome everybody to this week's episode of Our Life in Pixels. I believe this is episode 9 of season 2? 9? 8? 9. Right? I think last week was 8.
It's
I'm
one of them.
pretty sure it's 9.
There's a number.
So it's a number. It's a number. I believe this is episode 9 though. I'll have to check later. But yeah, we are a podcast of 3 to 5 depending on the week nerds that talk about video games.
3 idiot friends losing their minds.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
To steal the tagline from another series.
Sure. My name's Tim. I'm Valiant13. We got Justin, Mr. Farinox. He's the bearded wonder, and then we got Mr. Jarhead over there. Cody, also known as Norse Warrior. But yeah, what have we been playing this week, boys?
Well, Tim, what have you been playing?
Not a whole lot. Mostly Rocket League and a smattering of other games here or there. I'm trying to get back into Dark Souls. Love Dark
3?
Souls. Yeah, because that's the one that I haven't finished yet.
Summon me in.
I will let you know next time I'm playing it for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get back into that because I don't know why I haven't finished that one. I know why. It's just a dumb reason. So I need to finish it because I absolutely.
What is said dumb reason?
Yeah, what is the reason?
So I pre-ordered the game. I was super hyped about the game, and when the game came out, that was right after I built my PC. And I was having issues with it about my power supply shit out on me about 3 months in. So that was as I'm playing Dark Souls, like every time it specifically happened the most with Dark Souls. Happened with 7 Days to Die every once in a while. It happened with other games I would play. But mostly with Dark Souls, when my GPU would start to draw power to fucking run the game, all of a sudden my computer would reboot, which made the game unplayable for me and
even harder.
Yeah, and I would lose progress and I would not be able to play the game for more than 15 minutes before I'd be like, okay, well my computer's resetting and I was fucked. So I always had a hard time getting back into it after that, which is dumb, but that's what happened.
No, that's fair. That's fair for sure. That's like I got Sonic Adventure 2 on Steam. And I'd really like to play through it on Steam because I love that game, but it just crashes after the first stage and I just don't want to fuck around with it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's why I can't play Fallout 3 on PC anymore. I can still play it on Xbox just fine. So the fact that it's backwards compatible is amazing, but yeah, Justin, what have you been playing?
I picked up the Humble Bundle for this month because I saw Assassin's Creed Origins in there, and I haven't really. The last Assassin's Creed game I played was 4, which I thought was fun. I like the pirate ship aspects to it, but I kind of got bored with it. And that was pretty much the same story with 3 that I also tried to play. So I thought, okay, everyone said Origins is pretty good and that Odyssey is amazing, so I should try some Assassin's Creed before they make the Viking one that I will inevitably buy. which
Yeah.
Cody will inevitably buy,
Yeah.
which Tim, you will probably inevitably
Oh,
buy.
I will buy. I will buy. After
Yeah.
playing Odyssey, I'm buying the next one. So
Yeah. So yeah, I've been playing through that a little bit. I'm not super far into it, but I thought it's been pretty enjoyable. Ever since I saw the Mummy movie, I wanted to be a Magi, so now I can do that. That's great.
the old school mummies with Baron Fraser, not the one with Tom Cruise, right?
To be clear.
Just to be
yeah.
clear.
Just to be clear.
My wife has been
Um,
watching the newer ones recently, actually.
Ick.
Yeah, they're trying to do like a weird like connected world like Marvel Universe thing with them.
Yeah. It's a
It's strange.
mistake. It's a mistake.
I don't
Yeah.
watch a mummy like that to begin with, so definitely not interested now.
Yeah. So I've been doing that. I didn't put much time into Sekiro this week, but I did make a little bit of progress in there, cheesing some enemies like a boss.
You got to do it sometimes.
You got to do it to him.
Yeah.
Cody.
For me, so I don't get to play video games during the week. So basically, all my video game playing time, everybody else sees because I just stream it, or I'm playing with y'all or whatever. So,
Mhm.
but I've been playing Dragon Age. Got a pretty funny clip from that last night.
Oh my god, I'm
Firebutt?
linking that right now. Actually, I 100%
That
forgot
shit
about
was
that.
amazing.
Have you ever seen
first
an
time I
ogre
watched it.
breathe fire out of his ass? Because
Ass breather.
I have now.
It's so good.
amazing.
Yeah, y'all want to see an ogre breathe fire out his asshole? Like, check this shit out. Not even playing. Like, I'm not.
The first time I watched it, I just was kind of not really paying attention, and I was like, "Wait, what happened?" And then I went back, and I was like,
Right.
"What the
Oh,
fuck?"
KO
Yeah.
clipped it like instantly, and I didn't catch it
Yeah.
right away either. And then I watched it, and I watched it like 30 times because it was like
Yeah.
the best thing.
The worst part is I
Ever.
didn't even realize that it was happening because I was looking at like my skills and shit, and I was trying to make sure people aren't dying. And then I just see the chat going like everybody's laughing, and I was like, "What are everybody laughing about?" And then they just post this
Fuck.
fucking clip, and I was like, "Oh my god, of course that fucking
KO,
happened."
the real MVP.
Yeah, now you've seen. And every time I feed Cody Mexican food, that was like the first joke I made was like that this dude ate Mexican food last night. It was
Funny.
so
Yeah,
funny.
it is.
It was so good.
Oh, just so y'all know, that is my wife. That is some lady creeping on you. So
Yeah.
of course she's talking.
You should specify that that's a username because anybody listening back on the podcast is just gonna think that some lady creeping on
that's
them.
my
Yeah,
wife's username in the Twitch. chat.
yeah.
And then she also, what'd she make her name in Discord? Fucking sock hamster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So playing through some Dragon Age. I did buy Outward for the computer. So
Ooh.
whenever you boys want to get on that, I'm just gonna wait on that.
Sure.
And then in the meantime, so my TMO got here, so I have my fancy computer set up, but they broke my TV.
Dude.
Right there.
Dicks.
And so I have another one coming in next week, and then I will probably be jumping back onto Outward on the Xbox a little bit, kind of thing. Just because I don't want to move my Xbox down here when I can just stream it to the computer, kind of thing, or whatever. So, but games like Outward and Sekiro and stuff like that, there's a slight delay, so I can't really play those kind of games. But Dragon Age is perfect.
Yeah, because it's not as
it's just a strategy game more than anything. It's not worried about like the button mashing.
I've never had I played Dark Souls on my Steam Link, and I guess I wouldn't try and do that with Xbox because there is more of a delay on Xbox. That's for sure.
Right. Yeah, I'm doing it through the Xbox app.
Yeah. Never mind. Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, I actually brought my Steam Link down here. I brought my Switch down here. Everything was about to be hooked up down here, and I went to hook up the TV, and it was just. Nope.
Oh, speaking of the Switch, I should also note that I did get the Joker DLC for Smash, and I fucked around with Stage Builder a little bit. And oh my god, dude, that shit is so good. Okay, so it sucks trying to use it. Like I was trying to use the controller to make stages, and it was horseshit.
Right.
So I'm gonna try touchscreen controls next time. But you can scroll through the community made content, and at first I was like, okay,
Wasn't it a bunch of dicks?
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of.
Why am I
that
not
was the first wave of
surprised?
things.
Why am I not surprised?
I saw an article.
Give
Yeah, I
people
didn't-
the ability
I
to
didn't
build
personally-
levels. Penises everywhere.
Yeah.
Penises.
I didn't personally see any, so I think they maybe whipped up a quick algorithm to eliminate that.
Right.
But you can search by popularity, and I found that a lot of the like videos users create
Mhm.
are just like fucking super funny and like good jokes.
Right.
Like a big thing with Joker is like now there's a gun, an actual gun in
Mhm.
Super Smash Bros. So like Kirby takes his ability, he gets a
Mhm.
gun. That's his thing.
Hmm.
And someone just made a video titled "Lucas is literally dead," and it's just Joker coming up behind Lucas and just shooting him, and then he's dead. He's just on the floor dead, and then it just cuts.
Oh,
And
man.
there's a lot of really good comedic timing in a lot of those. Also, you can like look at player created Miis now and download them, which is really cool because now I have a bunch of sweet Steve Harvey characters to use.
Yes.
But the one thing I don't like
Of
about
course you
that
do.
is once you download them, you can't edit them. So
Oh,
like I've seen a
Oh.
lot of Miis that are like they're really quite good, but there's something I would change. I
Right.
can't. I'd have to rebuild them from scratch. So Nintendo, in their classic style, have brought something really cool, but kind of did it bad. They could have done it better,
Better,
just a
yeah.
little better. Yeah.
Yeah, Nintendo is always kind of slow on the pickup with that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
the good thing about Nintendo is that they'll generally fix it, at some point. Yeah.
Well, I don't
I
know
have a
about
question
that.
for
Take
you.
like 4 years.
Is there
but
voice? Is there integrated
voice chat?
voice chat yet?
Yeah,
No.
in Fortnite.
Yeah,
Only in
I've
Fortnite?
So here's the
yeah.
thing about that. Okay, developers can implement it if they want, but I think the only game that currently uses it is Fortnite for some reason.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Before we
What-
jump into the meat of what we were talking about, so I don't want to step on
This was the
anything.
potatoes.
I want to get into to one thing though. Like so I neglected to mention in the outline that we're talking about that Mortal Kombat 11 is going to release this week. So
Yeah.
I want to touch on that a little bit
Oh,
because
it's this week?
it's
Tim, would you
Tuesday, I
say
think.
you like Mortal Kombat?
Do I like Mortal Kombat? I can't remember the last Mortal Kombat game that came out that I didn't play. Like, and I'm going back to like Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. Like, Mortal Kombat is the shit. I remember sitting at Ian's house and we in like a weekend sat through and we beat both Deadly Alliance and Deception. Like we just sat there and we
Yeah.
pounded that shit until we beat them both, like the story modes. So I'm very
Those are
excited.
some of the best Mortal Kombat games. I would like to say that.
Cody disagrees because he didn't like the weapon system in them. But
Dude,
Yeah.
they were such good combos.
dude, yeah, no, I
Yeah,
loved
but,
the ability to shift, in between from stance to stance. I thought that was a really cool feature. The one thing that I didn't like, so Mortal Kombat to me was always best as a 2D fighter. When they did do the 3D platform, kind of like the Soul Calibur style, it was a little weird. It was an adjustment. I'm glad they went back to that in Mortal Kombat 9, and that they've kind of stuck with that since. I hope that they stay that way. One thing that I was mentioning to Cody though, Mortal Kombat 9 versus 10. 10 was a good game. 10 was a great game after they So I bought it on Steam after they finally fucking fixed the PC release after it took a week to get it patched out, but like eventually when it was working, it was fantastic. Like I loved Mortal Kombat 10. But I will say that in 10, and I think they're doing the same thing in 11, they've gone from 9 had. So 9 felt more fluid to me, and 10 felt more like Injustice. It was a little more. The combat is a little more rigid. It's not that it's not as fast paced as it was in 9 to me. It's not bad. Like it still plays great. It's still really fun. It's still a great game. It's just different. I preferred the swiftness of the combos and everything in 9. I've enjoyed the story like fucking crazy, so I'm super excited about it. But yeah, I wanted to touch on that and also just mention I don't remember who the publisher is for Dead or Alive. I don't know who the dev team is, but
Team Ninja?
Is it Team Ninja?
I think.
I hope it's not Team Ninja because I always kind of like Team Ninja, and if they're doing what they're doing, if it's Team Ninja, I'm extremely disappointed because fucking Justin, do you know anything about the DLC for Dead or Alive?
No, I haven't heard about that.
Okay, so Dead or Alive 5, really, like it has a free-to-play version, and then it's got the full-price version, and then it's got all of the DLC.
Right.
It is Team Ninja.
It is Team Ninja. Well, fuck. And I knew it was, I don't even know how to say Koei Tecmo. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
But, honestly, fuck them for this, because in Dead or Alive 5, all of the DLC that you can buy if you had to just take a guess at how much you would say that costs, Justin, as somebody who doesn't know and hasn't looked it up.
All the DLC for this fighting game, right?
Yes. So all the characters, all the skins, all the custom all that.
$30.
$1,289.70 or $87.89 or something like that. I am not misspeaking when I say $1,200.
That's for Dead or Alive 5.
That's for Dead or Alive 5. Dead or Alive 6 just released and is already up to like $380 with all the DLC.
What is all of this content?
It's maps and skins and yeah,
like full
shots.
character skins or
Yes.
just
Panty
like
shots.
it's
what do you mean?
what does he mean by
It's
panty
probably-
shots? It's
Yeah.
it's
Just
sexy
clothing.
outfits for the characters.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
sure. As they're known for, the famous Team Ninja breast physics.
Yeah.
Yikes.
$1,200 is more than a PC costs. It's more than a lot of cars cost. It's more than
I mean, okay.
it's more
You
than
don't have
a
to buy
month's
all the
rent.
DLC though.
You don't have to, but people do. That's the season. Like if you, that's people
Tim,
do.
that's fine.
No, it's not
I just-
fine.
yeah,
It's
I
not
just-
fucking fine. Let's be clear. This is not okay. There is nothing about this that is fucking K. That much on DLC is absurd.
I mean, they don't expect everyone to buy all the DLC.
But
Yeah,
you
but
know
I
that
think-
there's some dumbasses who are.
Well, I think it's
Well,
more just to the fact of
They've got the
nickel
money,
and-
that's fine.
nickel
It's
and
the
diming your
principle of the fucking
customers.
thing. It's the principle of the fucking thing for me. Like that's bullshit. And I expect
I mean, but it obviously worked because they're doing it.
Again.
they're
They're
making
doing it on Dead or Alive 6 or whatever.
They're-
So I mean, as long as as long as that stays in that niche right there, just stay with that one game. It won't bother me.
It bothers me.
Is it ridiculous? Is it ridiculous? Yeah, but as long as it just stays the fuck over there, because I don't play that shit anyways. Like, it can stay over there. But it is ridiculous. It's something like, because I mean, we get mad about like people nickel and diming us when it comes to like bills and stuff, this, that, and the other thing. Why are you nickel and diming outfits? Like this is literally like, from what it seems like, basically like you're just buying a top.
and stages
Mhm.
and the stages. So
And
the background for where you're fighting, and that's it. It's
Yeah.
fucking absurd to me. You know what?
Yeah.
It's
If pe-
cosmetics, man.
if
Yeah,
okay,
but
I have made that defense so many times. It's cosmetics. It doesn't matter if you don't want to spend the money. Don't spend the money. That's fine. That's fine. Like I'll say that for Fallout. I've said it for Fallout 76. I've said it for other games. Honestly, having DLC cosmetics, that's totally fine. But when it's that fucking much, that's I'm just saying that's
Yeah.
fucked up to me. That's fucked
Yeah.
up. I
Cosmetics
don't.
are pay to win. You get advantages.
I
kitty
I
iframes.
don't think that's doing your player base any fucking good, especially when
Sure.
okay, like as far as fighting games go. If this was the best fighting game of all time, it would not be worth $1,300. And I play the fuck out of fighting games. So
You don't need everything in the game, Tim.
you don't. But have you seen my Skyrim house? I need everything in the game. Do you
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
who I am? I collect things. So this is like targeted at me. Like, hey, buy all this shit so you can have it. And no, thank you. No fucking thank you. Like I'll just stick with Mortal Kombat. I'll buy a couple of characters so that I have, the full roster, and I'm gonna spend like $20 on it, and that's gonna be it.
Yeah, I would say this does kind of remind me of like I picked up the new Soul Calibur and I was really disappointed to find out that their DLC packs were where most of their like create your character items came from. Whereas
That-
in previous games, you just had access to like a shit ton of custom items from the start. This one is very limited.
In not this, I haven't played the most recent one, but the one before, the one that released on Xbox 360, the last title, was what,
Probably 4.
4? Yeah, that one was the same way. Which was a legit. There were free packs of it as well, but there were quite a few DLC packs, which I thought was kind of lame. Because
I don't
the
remember there being that much DLC for Dead or Alive 4.
we're,
played the shit
not
out of Dead or
not
Alive.
Dead or Alive, SoCal.
Oh, SoCal. Yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't.
I don't play Dead or Alive because
Three.
like I've played a couple of Dead or Alive games, and I've always been like, if I wanted to watch porn, I'd go watch porn. If I want to play a fighting game, I'll go play a real fighting game. I have no desire for the two to be blended.
Dead or Alive 4 was one of the Xbox 360 release titles, kind of thing. And if I remember right, it was one of the better. It might have been the best one, honestly, because it was like that and that like Kamiko game or whatever the hell.
Cameo Elements of Power, that weird rare title.
Yeah, and, there was a couple weird games in there, kind of thing. So, and I remember Dead or Alive being one of the better games, kind of thing. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a huge fighting game person in general. I'm not. I did really like Mortal Kombat 10 when that came out a few years ago. But I'm not super hyped for Mortal Kombat 11, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I'm not super excited about it. I'm glad. I feel like the direction they've taken Mortal Kombat has been great from 9 onward. And I did see Johnny Cage's amazing fatality where it ends up just being like on the movie set and like retaking it. That was
Don't they go like cut or do some weird shit?
Yeah. They just break the fourth wall on it really hard.
Right. Yeah. I did see that.
It's really fascinating. Whoopsie. It's fascinating that they managed to keep coming up with creative fatalities all these years later.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it makes me wonder if they're a little fucked up in the head over there, honestly.
Dude.
Of course they are. It's Mortal
Boon,
Kombat.
Baby.
Ed Boon is a god.
What do you guys think about it coming out on the Switch? I didn't look at the specs at all, but I assume it's going to be
I think that's
much
exciting.
version.
I mean, I played on the Game Boy Color, I played Mortal Kombat games. So and that was, up down the two fucking buttons, but it was still it was really fun.
Still Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, still Mortal Kombat. It was cool as hell. So I'm totally excited about that. The return to Nintendo for Mortal Kombat. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, I think the Switch getting any AAA games in general is exciting, personally. Just because
there's not a ton of them.
Right, but I mean, the Switch still has that market of it's the best. Like, if you like indie games, it's the best thing out there. You know what I mean? If that's what you want to do, easy. And if you want to travel, if you travel a lot, get yourself a fucking Switch because it's amazing. So it's just if you're at home a lot and stuff like that, I just don't tend to play it that much because I have so many other systems. But when it's my only choice, I'm still super happy with it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not upset. I'll play shit. When I was deployed or whatever, I played the shit out of Skyrim on that thing for like 3 months.
Hell yeah,
bunch of Skyrim on that bitch. So, but yeah, I don't know. What was out? Yeah, good old Skyrim.
So yeah, we should probably jump into. So I know that was kind of an unwritten topic for it, but I figured we should probably touch on it.
Yeah.
So now there's kind of a theme that's been happening in games, and we've talked about it several times, but I've seen several videos and articles posted on it lately, where kind of what's happening is it seems like AAA games more and more and more are. So there used to be in the gaming industry the professional testers who would go in and they would try and find every bug and they would do all of the monotonous bullshit that you can do in a game to find like every single bug in the game so they could patch it out and finish it. And it seems like now more and more and more, instead of that happening, what we're getting is less tested games. These games are being released as finished. And we are essentially paying to beta test them so they can fix the bugs as they go along. It's the games as live service model. We'll fix it after it's released. We'll fix it after we've sold copies. I'm curious on what your guys' thoughts are on this, and if there's any way to, because for me, I see it as a problem. To me, it's not killing the gaming industry. Obviously, games are still selling. But games, if you look at Metacritic scores, even fucking the worst of the worst reviewers that I can think of at IGN, even their scores, if you look at the average, are getting lower and lower and lower over time because we're getting broken products on release, generally speaking, for many AAA titles. Many games that cost millions to tens of millions of dollars to make. And that's not necessarily the high end of what they can spend on these games for publishers. So I'm curious as to what you guys think, because I think it's a major fucking problem. Obviously, games are still selling. I'm still going to buy my favorite fucking games. If Elder Scrolls 6 releases and it's a broken piece of shit, I know I'm still going to buy that fucking game. But do you guys think that there's a remedy to this situation for us gamers, essentially?
Man, I don't know. I really don't know because there are so many titles that come out and they're just fucked. Like so many Assassin's Creed games, man, just came out and they're like, well, yep, this one's fucked too. All right, next Assassin's Creed, let's go.
Yeah.
Um, but I feel like in that case, that's become less of a thing over time, and maybe that's because they've slowed down their crazy development cycle on those games.
Yeah, that would
I
help.
don't know.
I don't know. Like you have the crazy development cycle, but you also got to think like they get a lot of money to make these games or whatever. But it also costs a lot of money to make these games, and the $60 price point has been a consistent model for since I was
About
like
20 years.
Yeah, that's actually
it's
a
been
really
it's
good
been
thing to
it's been
bring
a long
up.
time. So games have stayed the same price,
But
but
they've
have
gotten more expensive to
consistently
make.
gotten more expensive over the years.
They've also sold more copies.
Yeah.
Well,
Something
some
I've heard
do.
too, though, is like, game pricing doesn't account for inflation at all.
Right.
That's true.
That's what I mean. So like these games have large budgets and stuff, but I think loot boxes and all that kind of stuff honestly is probably a side effect of the consistent $60 price point that we've seen forever now. You know what I mean?
I'll say for sure, like, this might be an unpopular opinion. I will take a game with microtransactions and loot boxes to pay for itself, like to help fund the game's ongoing development, rather than giving me a game that you didn't pay testers to test. I will take that every fucking time. I'll take Overwatch's loot box system. I'll take Shadow of War's loot box system over giving me a game that is buggy and broken and you cannot support it in order to fix it because you did not pay to test it.
Right. And like I can understand that, but the problem is that there's no regulation of that stuff.
That's true.
So there's starting to become some regulation a little bit, but right now it's just being it's very similar to like what we see with ISPs doing with the data caps or whatever. There's literally no reason for the data caps, but they get away with it anyways, kind of thing. It's very similar. There's with the loot boxes, there's no reason for some of these loot boxes to be so expensive or the drop rates to be so low or this, that, the other thing. But that's how these companies are making up that money. Do I agree with it? No. Do I want to pay more than $60 for a game? Fuck no, because 2 games are $120. But I also think that's why you're going to see people are going to start picking up the games as a service, not the games as a service model, but the streaming model, like Game Pass and PS Now and this that, and the other thing. Because I could pay for PS Now, Humble Bundle, and Xbox Game Pass, and I want to say Humble Bundle is the most expensive of the bunch at $12.
Like 12.
But I'm paying $32 a month. That's going to be cheaper if I buy than it would be if I continue to buy games at the rate that I do.
That reminds me, for those like us who have Game Pass and Xbox Live, moving forward, Xbox is going to be offering a combined service. So you get essentially, if you have both, you're not paying for both anymore. So right now, I think Xbox Live is, I pay like $30 a quarter.
Bucks.
Yeah,
$60 a year.
Not $60. It's more than that. It's like 75 or something 60. For the yearly.
Oh, they might have upped it on me.
I don't know because I pay quarterly and I pay I think like $25 or something like that, and so 27 with taxes, something like that.
Right.
But
no, it's $60 per year.
Oh, I need to switch that shit. Then I'm paying double.
You can also purchase a 3-month subscription for $25.
Yeah, that's what I have. I have the 3 months. I need to switch that because I'm paying double. Then fuck that.
Right.
But anyway, my point was, moving forward, instead of having the monthly Game Pass and then the Xbox service, you can get both bundled for like, I think it's going to be like $9.99 or some shit like that, or $19.99 or something.
$15.
Is it 15? It's $15. So it's going to save money.
Honestly, if you do the math on that, it's literally the same amount of money you would spend if you bought the $60 year pass.
I don't have the $60 year pass. So.
Right. But at the same time, people may not be able to buy the chunk. You know what I mean? They might not have the money. It's a lot easier to afford $15 a month than having to pay 1 month. You're going to have to pay $70.
Yeah.
kind of thing, because you'll have to rebuy your year pass, and then on top of that, you have your $10 for Game Pass. But I really do think it's a good idea, and just in general, I think this is why we're going to see. It's just kind of it's just, if you look at it, it just seems like a domino effect. The companies are really trying to continue to put out good content and stuff like that or whatever, but they're not making as much money. Like some of these titles are making a lot of money. If you look at like Call of Duty and stuff like that, they've been making money for years, just on yearly releases, Madden, FIFA, all those. But I feel like those are kind of like in the 1% art kind of deal. You have the other, 80, even if you don't say 1%, maybe it's the top 10%.
Yeah.
You have the other games kind of thing that aren't going to be as successful in that kind of realm. So they're just trying to figure out a way to make up money. Like even Outward, I was actually looking up the sales for that because I was really curious to like how it's doing. And I want to say that the consensus, because there no official thing has come out, but like the kind of the consensus number is only like 40K or something like that. It's not a lot.
Yeah.
It has really good reviews and stuff like that,
but it's not selling a lot of copies.
Right, because it's for a niche market. But if you look, it's got great reviews all over the place. Most of the reviews for the negatives are kind of funny because they're just basically rants. The IGN specifically is what
too hard.
Yeah, that's basically what it was, because they did kind of get fucked, but I mean that's what the game is.
I absolutely hate people who are like, this game's too fucking, like, I don't hate people. Let me rephrase. I hate it when people say, I hate it when people say, well, I do, but I really hate it when people say this game's too hard. Like we talked about with easy mode. It's like, well, the game's difficult because it's supposed to be difficult.
Right. And so, but I know there's been some difficulties and stuff with that. But yeah, to me it looks like a domino effect. It's a direct reason of why we have Stadia now.
I'll say
the only
part of the problem, in my opinion, is so this has been going on for quite some time now. Games getting released in broken ass fashions, and we're in 2019, and I'd say this probably started becoming a real thing in probably like 2011, 2012. And then you got more and more early access titles, and then more and more games started going, well, if you'll pay for early access, we're just going to release the game, and we're going to not tag it as early access. This is the game, and we'll fix it moving forward. I think part of the problem that we have is that people are still buying these games knowing that this is happening. Like, these reviews are coming out saying, like, for example, with Anthem, people were saying when the beta was out, this game's broken as fuck. People were playing the game early going, this game is broken as fuck. And that game still sold a lot of copies on release.
Right.
Maybe not to the numbers that EA was hoping, but it still sold a lot. And people knew that shit was broken. So I think part of the problem is just that they know, oh, you're interested in the game? You want to see for yourself if it's as broken as everyone says it is? You'll still fucking pay us money for it. So I think that's part of the problem as well. Sure.
Yeah, you'll end up paying one way or another. Either you're going to pay for the full game. So this is the thing about the sales for Anthem. I don't know if they're including people like myself who technically never bought the game and I just have the Origin access kind of thing. And are they considering that a sale?
That's a good question.
I don't know on that one.
I feel like they couldn't.
I feel
like they might
to boost the numbers. Yeah, I think that they probably do count it as a sale.
Yeah.
So that's something I would be curious about. But yeah, man, I don't know. And I think the Anthem also, you got to think, has the name of BioWare behind it. So people might have been saying it's broken and stuff like that. But people want to believe that it's going to get better.
It's the same thing that happened with Andromeda.
Right. And I don't think it's been necessarily as bad until recently. Because I remember doing like the beta for Battlefield 4. And it was basically the final product.
It's gotten a hell of a lot worse over the last, I'd say, year and a half to 2 years.
Right. It's got for sure. But I'm thinking like 4 years ago when they do it, it was never. I never felt like I was getting a broken, buggy product. Generally, not obviously not every.
I'd say Assassin's Creed Unity was broken as shit on release. It's gotten a lot better supposedly.
Yeah, well, it finally got utilized for something good, reconstructing the no, I like to say Notre Dame, but it's Notre Dame or whatever the fuck it is. But yeah, so
well, it's technically Notre Dame because it's French. So you're not wrong. Technically,
yeah,
all of us are wrong,
yeah,
but we're Americans, so we say Notre Dame because it's the
yeah,
university.
right. But yeah, I mean they're using Unity for that, so it's getting used for stuff. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
it's
kind of
just
cool.
I don't know. I don't like this
Speaking of,
trend,
I
but
don't
I
know.
understand it.
Speaking of that, this is a weird transition because that's later on the list, but it will work. So Assassin's Creed Unity, I believe it's still free on PC, in honor
So,
of what's happening with Notre Dame, and they're actually I don't know for a fact if they are. I've heard rumors that they're going to, but so for those who don't know, Assassin's Creed, when they map out a city, a real life city, they are extremely fucking thorough about it. Like, in the games, the Ezio series, the Brotherhood and Assassin's Creed 2.
Right.
So those games took place in Rome, for a lot of it, and that shit is like literally they had people go through and map out fucking Rome. Like it
Yeah,
is
like
to the goddamn T. It's so accurate that you can read stories. Like I've read one about a group of high school kids. This was from a Tumblr post I saw. They got lost in the Vatican, and this one kid's like, "Follow me. I know exactly how to get where we're going." And he did. He got them to where they
oh
were
my
going.
god,
And they're like, how the hell do you know this? And he's like, I played Assassin's Creed. It's fucking absurd.
amazing.
So there's plans, or potentially it's already happening, but they plan on they're going to rebuild Notre Dame. Obviously, they're going to use Unity, and they're mapping out of the actual cathedral to help rebuild it, which is pretty cool. Um,
yeah, it
just
is.
thought we should throw Ubisoft and them a little love their way for that, because even though Unity when it released, as we said, was kind of a broken piece of shit, now they're
It might
using
be
it
the
for a
best
lot of
Assassin's
good.
Creed game.
It might
Yeah.
be, but it's free right now, so it's worth
Right.
the price. I gotta say, if it's free, it's fucking worth it. So
So yeah.
Pretty good.
yeah. So what do you guys want to talk about next? We got a couple of things we can touch on.
You want to
I
talk
don't know,
about World War Z?
Zombies or Halo?
We should probably talk about World War Z. Probably
Yeah.
should. So, for those who don't know, World War Z started off as a book, and they made a movie starring Brad Pitt a few years ago. The movie was considerably worse than the book.
The book's amazing.
The wall
Read
of zombies that they did in the movie, with spoilers, was pretty cool. Spoilers for a game that came out in or a movie that came out in like 2012. Fucking, it was pretty good. But the movie itself was overall shit. But they've made a game, and have you guys watched any of the gameplay of it at this point?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of that YouTube
I
clip.
I didn't watch it, but when I was putting my computer together, I was listening to a review of it.
So, from what I've seen, I haven't played the game. I don't know that I'm going to pick it up. As somebody who played a good amount of Left 4 Dead, the game gives me very much Left 4 Dead vibes, but it's third person. It also has a online PvP mode that, from what I saw, basically looked like third person shooting. Like it was just,
Yeah.
I didn't see any zombies in it. Maybe there are modes with zombies in them, but I didn't see any zombies in it, which was interesting. But yeah, the game looks okay, but it's a full price game, so I don't know. Honestly, if I'm gonna play a Left 4 Dead game, I'm either gonna play Vermintide or I'm gonna play Left 4 Dead. So I don't know.
Vermintide.
I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on that though. So
Yeah, like I only know about this because you told me about it, and I watched that YouTube video that you sent me, and I mean, it just looks like the Division 2. I mean, it could be any third-person shooter, really. Nothing about it looked very interesting to me.
I do remember, speaking of comparing it to the Division, I do remember when the Division first came out and they were talking about the virus and stuff, that there was a lot of people who were hyped because they wanted a zombie DLC for the Division 1 kind of thing.
I
I'm
remember
really
that.
happy
Yeah,
they didn't go that route because there's so many zombie
Zombies.
games out there these
Yeah.
days. The review I listened to basically said it's not spectacular, but it's fun. You know what I mean? So is it a game you want to buy full price? Probably not, but if you can find it half off or even, 30% off kind of thing, it'd probably be something good to pick up.
It seems like the kind of game, kind of like Left 4 Dead. You don't want to play it by yourself. You want to play it with buddies.
Right.
If you're gonna play it,
Right.
you want friends who are gonna play it, and you wanna pick up a 4-pack of that shit on sale or something, and like play it with your buds. But
I wish
but
more
beyond
games would do that.
that would be
Dude,
dope.
I was thinking
yeah.
about that too.
Yeah,
Four
Mordhau
packs.
4-pack, baby.
Yeah,
that'd be
Mordhau
amazing.
8-pack.
Didn't Zombie Army Trilogy do a 4-pack
Yes,
at
they
one
did.
point?
They did. And
Yeah,
the Zombie Army games have always been like
they were good.
zombie games are overdone, but those were good ones. Those were fun.
The Sniper Elite.
The X-ray, the X-ray stuff with the Sniper Elite.
Oh yeah,
so
it's
good.
too good. Sniper Elite's amazing.
Primo.
The screenshots
Never-
I've gotten from those games.
Yeah, I never finished any of those games, but always have a fucking blast when I play them.
I think I
Trying to shoot a dude in the nuts from like 1,000 yards away or
Dude.
some shit.
I
What a
think I
brilliant mechanic.
mostly played the Nazi Zombie Army games with you, Cody. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I've played them by myself a little bit, but I mostly played them with you.
Right. Yeah, I've tried to play the Nazi Zombie by myself, and not as fun.
Nazi
Always
Zombie
much
Trilogy
better-
on Game Pass, by the way.
It is on Game Pass.
Shout out
Why
to
are we
Game Pass.
doing so much free advertising for these services?
Just because it's worth the $10.
It's worth the
like,
$10, but like,
especially
Let's shoot 'em
like
a line.
I'll just
Uh,
want to say we're not sponsored at the moment, so
no, we're not. But
Microsoft-
we would
Could
love to
be.
be
Microsoft,
sponsored.
we're looking at you. All right.
Yeah, we are. But it's just not to get on the whole Game Pass rant, but like right now, all right, I'm paying rent at my house, and I'm still having to pay stuff at a house up in Minnesota where Justin's at or wherever in the same
Mhm.
city. So like I'm kind of having to manage the money a little bit better. I just can't be buying games willy nilly, and I get a whole catalog of good games. Like Monster Hunter World is coming
Fun.
to Game Pass. Resident Evil 5, like all these like kind of big time games are coming to Game Pass for $10. Like, and just with how like $10 a month for a whole year is the price of 2 full price games.
Mhm.
It's just the savings is too good. The savings is amazing.
Yo,
So-
could we do like a Knife Guy style infomercial where Cody sells Game Pass? Because I think that'd be dope.
I
We
look,
definitely should.
I'm gonna
Put
be
that on
honest.
the docket.
Microsoft wanted to hit me up to sell the idea of Game Pass. I'd be all about it because
Yeah, but
I've just been literally just got it to try Crackdown 3, and I was just pleasantly surprised across the board. Once they start beefing up the PC catalog, that thing it's gonna be hard.
That's
to
gonna
beat.
fly.
It's gonna be.
That'll
hard
be
to
good.
beat.
That'll be good.
So, anyways, all right. Sorry. Off
But
my
yeah,
rant.
back to World War Z.
Zambies.
Yeah. So I think zombie games are overdone. I'm kind of bored with them at this point. I think we need a break from zombie games as a gaming community. I think everybody needs a break from them for a couple years and then bring them back. Horde modes are fun, but there's nothing interesting about zombies. There's just zombies. But that said, yeah, the game looks fun. It looks okay. So Left 4 Dead kind of spawned a genre of games, right, where it's 4 versus the Horde. And you get that with this. You definitely get those vibes for sure. There are a few other games that have that, like I mentioned with Vermintide. And then you've had the slight twist. Helldivers. Well,
oh hell yeah,
sort of, yeah. That one I'd say, yeah.
But
There are a lot of top-down games like that.
I think
Helldivers
Helldivers did it really well.
Helldivers did do it.
super fun.
Helldivers is fun.
Did you guys play what Galactic Deep Rock, whatever, where you're a bunch of dwarves?
Oh,
it's
the
basically
dwarves?
like
I've seen
yeah,
it. I've never.
it's very much like Helldivers.
It was
I did
free
a
on
few
Steam
kids,
for a little
and
bit.
I
It was like
very very
first
pleased
person
by it.
Helldivers with dwarves. Yeah,
Do they
it
yell
was
like dwarves too.
Rock and stone
Of
to
course.
the bone
Yeah.
is one of the voice lines.
Yes,
it's
I like
it's
it.
it's kind of spawned a few subgenres, I feel like, though. And I'm curious if you guys think that, like, I would say, given the success of Vermintide and a few others, I'd say yes. But like, do you think overall the Left 4 Dead style of games is still viable? Because supposedly there's a Left 4 Dead 3 coming down the line. So
Well,
I would
heard-
say Left 4 Dead 3, no. Please stop. But
Okay,
games in that
all
style,
right.
yes, absolutely.
I actually heard that Left 4 Dead 3 got canceled in 2013.
it did, and then it's been supposedly
Joe to
revived.
confirm.
Oh, has it been revived? Okay, I didn't hear
This
that.
is a rumor that I have heard that it's been revived as a VR title.
Oh, hell
Oh,
no.
So
That shit.
that could be interesting.
VR.
no revive. Is that just a straight rumor? Because I've heard it pretty
Right.
recently.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah,
Think about
VR
it really
just
quick.
isn't up to standard. I believe in trying to do something like that. You know what I mean? I think VR needs another good 6 years, honestly.
Yeah, those games need a lot of polish yet.
Right. Like it's great for things like Beat Saber and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be throwing a bunch of fucking zombies at me in VR. Like it's just, no, because there's so much more that goes into like those experiences. I did my first VR experience actually I did last past October. Um I was at a Dave and Buster's and they had a Jurassic Park thing.
Hmm.
And that I won't lie, that was awesome. Also had like a little ride thing that you're in that kind of like moves around and stuff to add to like
Okay.
the experience
Yeah.
and stuff. So if and you can't, it's hard to like get that into the homes. But one, the first and foremost, that they need to make it wireless.
I know. I think
Yeah,
they
Because
do have some
yeah.
wireless models
wires
coming
is a
now.
huge drawback on. That's actually one of the reasons why I haven't bought one. Because you guys know me, I just buy
Oh, I
electronics.
can't imagine with my
So-
kids in here, like, cause this
Right.
I don't know if people know my setup. I used to have an office setup separate from everything, but yeah, I never got to use my computer when I had children. So now my setup is in my living room. I can't imagine trying to have a Vive system with all the wires in here with Logan and Arya running around, all that equipment. Like, no,
Man, all that
no.
money.
Okay, but so what Joda has confirmed, so there is a Left 4 Dead 3 style game that Valve is working on, but it's not Left 4 Dead technically. So that's
Sure.
but yeah, it is supposed to be a VR game from what I understand. So
Yeah.
it's interesting to me.
Yeah, there are a lot of cool VR titles that I've seen, but it's still not really
It's still kind
super
of
great
early
looking
tech.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The games that I always thought were the most interesting when it comes to VR titles are the first person horror games that are like indie games
Ooh,
that
yeah.
are that's another thing that I kind of wanted to mention. So when we were talking about beta testing earlier, I think one way that we can kind of help to counteract this is by supporting more indie developers that aren't
outward.
that don't have the big publisher behind them, that don't have the ridiculous overhead, that don't have all of that are beta testing their games to make sure that the games are functional on release. Even early access titles, even fucking supporting them because you know that you are beta testing it and you're aware that you're beta testing it. You know that you're testing it. Not like these games that it's a AAA title that costs $25 million to make, and I know that that's not a huge budget for a game these days, which is saying something. But that they decided that they're not going to pay professional testers. They're just going to sell the game and have you test it. And I think we need to not support those titles as much. And I realize that that's a big fucking ask because a lot of these games that are coming out are goddamn huge. But I think
just
supporting
support
indie
CD
devs.
Project Red. All right,
Well,
that game's gonna come out and it's gonna be
you
good.
keep saying that, and you keep making me go, don't fucking jinx it, because I would
I'm not jinxing it.
I would not have predicted that Bethesda would start coming out with duds. I would not have predicted that BioWare would come out with fucking
BioWare. I mean,
yeah,
should we
fuck
start
off.
calling them that 'cause
Fuck,
because
they're dying. Yeah, no, but like, I would not have predicted that they come out with back-to-back stinkers. I wouldn't have. And
right,
that's
but what's
the
big
reality that
difference
we're in.
between Bethesda and like
Will-
CD Project Red or BioWare more.
BioWare has EA. Bethesda, they're their own fucking publisher. ZeniMax is their parent company, and they essentially stopped publishing under ZeniMax 10 years ago now. So
right, but outside of 76, Bethesda, like, they're fine. Fallout 4 was good. It wasn't amazing, but it wasn't.
Fallout 4 was the first dip, and then 76
Yeah,
is the plummet,
sure.
and now they've had Elder Scrolls Blades. I mean, it's a mobile game, so I keep seeing people say shit like, "Oh, they're ruining the game with microtransactions." I'm like, it's a fucking mobile game. What did you expect them to do?
Right. Yeah.
but
when I look at Bethesda, I look at it as they did Fallout 4, and just it wasn't a 10 out of 10, but it was an 8. You know what I mean? Like, it's still a good game.
I love Fallout 4. I still play
70, but here's my thing about 76. 76 was they went outside their comfort zone a lot,
which I applaud them for trying.
Right. So which is cool. I'm glad they tried it. It turned into a total dumpster fire. That's fine. Sometimes you got to do these things to like get experience and stuff
learn.
like that.
Again, this goes back to though, like with 76, it seems like a game that they didn't fucking test at all, which
Right.
is absurd to me. Like, for you've never done a multiplayer title before as a studio. You've done it as a publisher. You had a team. You had ZeniMax Online Studios do the Elder Scrolls Online, and you kind of like what happened with Andromeda. You didn't lean on your team with experience in doing this. You just kind of tried to implement what they did, and you fucked it up. You fucked it up. You didn't test it, and here we are.
It'd be really fascinating to know like the portions of the development team that worked on each of these things. Like maybe 76 was just shopped out to like this small portion of developers, like, okay, make this. We're gonna do pre-production on the new Elder Scrolls over
and
here
on
with
Starfield.
everyone else.
Yeah, because they're working on Starfield. They're working on Elder Scrolls 6. They're who knows what the hell else they're cooking up in those kitchens right now. But like this game, like. And then what happened with the bags is just unacceptable to me still.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
I almost was one of those people who ordered because I wanted the fucking helmet. I just wanted that goddamn helmet. I didn't order it because I was like, you know what?
Because you are the Fallout boy.
According to Logan, I am. So
hell yeah.
But no,
Daddy, you're on your hat. No.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
I think Bethesda's in a negative light right now for sure. But I mean, I'm just looking at like their whole what they've done recently, and it's really just one game. Like honestly, it's just one game. I'm not worried about. I mean, it's disappointing, but once again, it's not what they're known for. They're known for exceptional single player experiences, and that's not what they were doing. They were doing something that was outside that comfort zone, and it flopped. It is what it is because they were also capitalized on like the microtransactions, this, that, and the other thing. So if that would be one thing I'd be worried about with Starfield, because that's reportedly the next one that's coming out, is the implementation.
So that's confirmed that's the next one. So they have confirmed that Starfield will come out before Elder Scrolls 6.
Right. So I would just be worried about how are they gonna put microtransactions in?
We don't know anything about Starfield. Right. That's the thing that's killing me.
But that's the only thing I'd be worried about right now. Yeah. Bethesda as a studio, they are still way above BioWare or DioWare. We're gonna start calling them that, DioWare. In my opinion, because BioWare's had 2 back-to-back flops.
But Bethesda's been trying a few things over the past couple of years. Like, yeah, Fallout 76 is the big one, but they're the ones who started the whole paid mods deal. They have the most loyal, the most active mod community that I know of out there, other than like maybe not the most loyal, but like definitely the most active and one of the biggest. We'll put it that way.
It is the most active mod.
It is the most active, and it is
by
far the biggest.
Automaton thing?
No.
Which thing?
For the freaking original Elder Scrolls Legends, or not Legends, but the original Elder Scrolls Skyrim, they basically made a thing that as long as you just got to pick the mods you want, and it will auto install. It'll auto do your load order, and it'll auto install all the updates and everything or whatever, so you don't have to go and manually do that.
That's cool. Nice. I feel like that's been a thing that a few softwares have said they were going to do.
They said
at least the load order, but
they don't do. Yeah, some of them will do your load order, but you still got to go in and like manually update and stuff like that. This you just like, I want these these mods, and then you load it up and it's supposed to work, kind of thing. Obviously, it probably doesn't work that simple because mods. But
Bethesda, they are. I don't want to get it twisted here. They're my favorite game studio. I'm wearing a Bethesda branded fucking hat right now. Like that. It's my favorite game studio. They have some of my favorite games titles. I'm a little cautious on the gaming scene overall at the moment because we've had a lot of things like this.
I think Starfield's going to come out. It's going to be another 8. Out of 10, probably.
If it's an 8, if it's an 8+, then they're fine. It won't bug me.
Yeah.
Like
I'll
buy it. I'm not questioning that.
I'll buy it too. I'm super excited. Like I don't even know what it's about, but
right. That's the way I am.
And doing a space opera, I'm kind of excited for that. You know what I mean? So
speaking of space operas, so we've known for a while that Showtime is making a Halo TV series.
Yeah.
Master Chief has been casted. Pablo Schreiber, I believe, is the guy's name.
Cornstash.
Is the name? He's a good actor. He's not what I would. He doesn't sound the way I would picture Chief sounding. There's nobody who's gonna replace that
Yeah,
voice.
no one's Steve Downs.
No.
I haven't heard any of this guy's performances that I would say, oh yeah, Master Chief.
Right.
So
He's a good actor,
I
but
have no idea who this dude is.
So Google him real quick. I'll put his
give him
name
the
on.
link.
Yeah. So I'll link him. I'll link his IMDb.
Hell
RVD, Red
yeah.
versus Blue. My fucking
So true.
She loves that. She loves that fucking show, dude.
Well,
But,
She can probably reenact the entire first season by herself. That's fucking serious.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
This guy does not at all, to me, seem like he would be Chief, but he's Chief, so we're moving on with that. There's
based on how he looks, he's gonna wear a helmet. He's gonna have armor on.
But I'm
Did
basing
you
it
guys
on
watch
his voice as well.
the TV show that they or the
what?
It's
they
in,
did a Halo
it's in the Twitch chat, by
miniseries.
the way. Oh,
which one?
Yeah, which one are you talking
I
about?
think I've watched them all.
The live action one.
Are you talking about the movie that was on Netflix a couple years ago?
I don't think it was a movie. I think
no,
it
there was a
movie.
there was a movie.
There was like a mini series kind of thing.
Yeah, with a kid.
They combined it into a movie that was on
they
Netflix
put it into
as well.
a movie?
Yeah, like it was like 2 episodes. I think was the whole miniseries, and they made it.
I think it was like.
I remember.
Are you talking about Fall of Reach?
Maybe I don't remember. I haven't watched it in a long time.
Animated.
Yeah, I think Fall of Reach is animated.
Which one am I thinking of?
Anyway, there was a miniseries with a kid, and they were like, so they did like 6 episodes, like that.
Yeah, and they did say
that was
for
actually
the show,
really good. Yeah, it was supposed to turn into a real show.
Like some kid, someone was cast as like a kid that the chief or something.
Right. So
maybe
I don't know. I think this could be good. I mean, people have wanted live action Halo.
I have.
You know. So well, I remember there were some people doing. Do you guys remember those YouTube videos that came out back in like 2008, 2009, like when we were graduating, and it was like for Halo 3 that these people came out.
Oh, the fan videos.
Yeah, those things were awesome, and like
cool.
after that, like it was just through the roof. Like people wanted to show and stuff like that. So I'm kind of actually surprised it's taken this long to get to this point. If I'm being honest, I would assume that a show would have came out earlier than this.
I straight up though, like, there are a lot of things I want from Halo, but like how often does mixed media like marketing for video games actually work? When you think about like not very like most video game movies that come out are goddamn awful. They're not just bad, they're just awful. Like
that doesn't mean they shouldn't continue to try. Is kind of where I'm at. Like,
sure,
that's fair.
You know what I mean. Because you might every once in a while, I can't name it head, but every once in a while there's probably a gem or one that people like. You know what I mean?
Right here, Kingsglaive, the movie, was way the fuck better than Final Fantasy 15, the game.
I'm just gonna say though, like, fucking, there's so many bad ones. So like, the worst one. I wrote a article on this whole topic a couple years ago, but I heard Assassin's Creed was bad. Why they made an Assassin's Creed movie, I still don't know. But Assassin's Creed was not good. But like the worst one, Warcraft was okay. It was like
Warcraft was alright.
It was like a 7 or a 6. It was okay. Like the animation, it was really cool. It had Ragnar Lothbrok in it, so that was cool.
Oh yeah.
Travis Fimmel is awesome. But no, like fucking the worst example ever would be like Super Mario Brothers.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that as a movie, I think that stands up on its own 2 legs.
Oh, okay.
As a video game adaptation, I would say no.
Yeah, I'm like,
you don't like that movie? Do you not like that movie?
I watched that movie as a kid. As a kid, I liked that movie. Don't try and rewatch it as an adult. If you like that movie as a child, do not rewatch it as an adult.
Yeah.
You will ruin it for yourself. It was just, what the fuck? Like,
it's good.
There's so many, like, what Bowser looked like in that movie.
Dude, fucking Dennis Hopper. Oh my god.
Okay, does Dennis Hopper look anything like Bowser?
Dude. Alright, so what I heard about that movie is that originally it was not a Super Mario. It was a completely different movie, and then someone shoehorned Super Mario onto it,
Oh,
which
of course.
would make sense.
Why though?
I don't know,
Who
because people
knows,
try to
man?
make money, man.
Hollywood.
Trying to make money. That's what everything boils down to from this
I mean-
entire fucking thing. From our being like, hey, you want to sponsor us, to fucking unpaid beta testing, to all this shit. People are just trying to make money. That's really all it boils down
I mean,
to. Man.
yeah, you're trying to capitalize on Game of Thrones, man. I mean, they've got board games and video games.
Did you just say Game of Thrones? I couldn't hear you.
You cut
Yeah.
out.
Oh, yeah, and Game of Thrones motherfucking Oreos.
I haven't
okay?
eaten 2 boxes of those Oreos this week.
See,
Oh my
okay,
God.
is
You
it 2
did.
boxes or 2 packages?
Oh, yeah,
two
that's very
packages.
different.
2 packages.
This is
Okay.
not a box. This is just a
Yeah,
That's
package.
fair.
right.
It's not a box.
I was about to say, if you get in 2 boxes, Tim, you're
Oh.
gonna gain back all that weight that you lost.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
don't do
I
that.
ate 2 of those packages of Oreos this week because I was fucking. But,
Yeah, no. But I mean, it is. It's all about, you're trying to do the mixed marketing thing. It generally doesn't work for a lot of.
ooh.
It doesn't
But,
really matter what the IP is.
Mortal
trying to switch from
Kombat.
one thing to
Even the Mortal Kombat YouTube
Look,
series that
the
came out a couple years
original
ago
movie
were
is
good.
good. The
Absolutely.
original Mortal Kombat movie is good. I don't care what
Second
their
one
fight-
sucked.
Yeah, the second one.
Yeah.
I think they made a third one as well.
The second
I
one
need
was
them to
so,
remake the first
no, they didn't make a third one.
Okay.
The second
need
one
them to
was so
remake
bad that they did not make a third one.
How about the animated one? Did you guys see that? They had an animated
Um,
feature.
No, but I've
I don't
watched.
remember anything about it really.
I watched the live action YouTube series that came out a couple years ago, and that was always interesting.
those were interesting.
Those were good. Those were good, especially
like a modern reboot.
The Scorpion ones were super cool. But
Right.
Yeah.
But
Did you ever watch the Mortal Kombat TV show back in the day? They had a live action TV series for a
I'm
while.
sure I did,
It's
but
weird as fuck,
I can't
dude.
remember it.
I'm sure it was weird.
The
'cause
Cobalt Mines.
You're trying to market a super bloody game on normal television, like.
And it was just like
Oh!
a weird drama too.
Cody, you know that technically, because of comic books, several of the Mortal Kombat characters are DC canon, right? You know that?
No.
Yeah,
No.
Scorpion
My wife
in
probably
particular.
knows that, but I didn't.
I suppose.
But yeah, they're like it's not just like they've done the crossover games. Nope, they've been in some of the comic books.
I didn't know that.
Scorpion in particular has been in a couple of them. I think
That actually kind of makes me feel bad because DC is terrible about making movies, and yeah, so
I'll say I don't think so. Suicide Squad was poop, but like I don't think that the Justice League movies. I have a weird relationship with I like all the DC movies that I've seen over the past couple of years. Like
the past couple ones, yeah, Wonder Woman, and
even going back to Man of Steel, I liked Man of Steel. I liked it a lot.
I never saw it. but
Justice,
a lot of people liked it.
well, it got shit on by like the first wave of critics that saw it were like this is pretty good, and then the second wave of critics were like this is poop, and most audiences were like this is awful. It didn't do very well. The Justice League movie I thought was okay. I thought it was weird, the storyline they
I
did.
never saw it.
Okay, well, spoilers. I don't know how you can do the death of Superman storyline in the first Justice League movie. That's fucking weird to me.
Is that what they did?
I don't know. how
They
you can do
did.
the death
Well,
of
you can't do
Superman
Doomsday without
in
doing
two
the death.
movies.
Yeah,
Yes.
you cannot have Doomsday without doing the death of Superman, and that's exactly what they did. So
if you do
it's weird.
the death of Superman, it would have to be one movie where he dies, which they did. It'd have to be a middle movie where he makes 0 appearances, and then the third movie where he comes back.
Yeah, that didn't
Like
happen.
that,
They
it
should've-
did. I know it didn't happen, which is why I was never really.
I
interested
think
going
in-
to see the
in
Justice League movie.
Batman versus Superman is where Doomsday popped in, and then he died, and
Yeah.
then they brought him back in Justice League.
Yeah,
That's so weird.
If you haven't
Yeah.
seen them, I apologize for the spoilers, but like it was weird that they forced
look,
that
let's
into.
let's
a
go
couple
see
of movies.
Shazam.
Shazam's
Shazam's
good.
pretty decent.
And
That's
Shazam.
It's
good.
funny. At the very least, it's funny.
I thought
You know what I mean?
Aquaman looked
Finally.
really good. I haven't seen that one yet.
I heard
Aquaman looks
Yeah.
good, but
But I
But
just,
see,
I
It
just
was alright.
DC in general, like
I-
their track record over the past like 8 years has been bad.
here's the
Do you
problem
think
that
the
DC.
Joker will bring him back?
I hope so. Here's the problem that
Looks
DC
good.
has had versus Marvel though. Marvel has taken themselves very lightheartedly over the entire MCU
Disney.
thing. Like, even before they were Disney, like fucking they've been much more lighthearted. They've made jokes at their own expense. It's been superhero movies for the fun of superhero movies, which is great. I like the
Right.
seriousness of of the DC movies. Like people are like, oh, it's too dark. Oh, it's too gritty. Oh, it's too Hi, Ian.
Hey.
Hey, Ian.
Like
this is a perfect
it's
topic for him.
yeah, we're talking about movies. So welcome to the part where we're talking about movies.
Do you have any sound?
He doesn't.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
No.
All right.
He's like, look, A for effort. He's like, I'm fucking here, guys. All right.
Yeah.
You
But,
can't hear me, but I'm here.
But yeah, I feel like I don't think there's anything wrong with having a serious superhero movie. I don't think there's anything wrong with taking yourself seriously on this and treating
Like
some
the
of the
Dark
epic storyline, like the Dark Knight. Like
Dark Knight.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, those three
Tons of
movies
people were like, "This isn't my Batman."
right, and
I don't give a shit. It was good.
I don't fucking get that at all. Like I understand enjoying having fun with superheroes. Don't get me wrong, but there's a point where it almost, I don't know. Like it depends on the character. If you ever did Deadpool too fucking seriously, it would ruin it for me.
Right.
Because
Well,
it's
they
fucking
did.
Deadpool.
Remember?
Well, they did, and that's what I'm saying. Like it's
it was
just
no good.
it was not good at all. What is he pointing at us for?
Ian is like,
He ain't gonna type
Is he
nothing.
chewing
He's
me
gonna-
out?
no, he's saying something.
But yeah, that's I think that's
Yeah, you know, if you look at Marvel, right? So the Marvel superhero movies, they kind of all feel the same tone, like the same tone for all of them. Whereas DC, you get kind of more variety. I think if DC really digs in and lets kind of directors change and like do the tone of the movie the way they want to and have maybe a little more creative freedom, that could be DC's way of really getting something going that Marvel doesn't have.
the other thing that DC has always kind of had that Marvel is lacking. DC has better villains, and it's not close. Like the Joker. Name me a single Marvel villain who is as good as the Joker.
You're asking the wrong person. I don't know shit
Ian
about
would
comics.
probably have
Wait,
something
Ian-
to say here.
Ian, why-
does.
I
Yes,
heard.
I
I
do,
thought
he
I
said.
heard something. Where's your headset?
Ian, why don't you can you, I guess he can type.
I
while
don't
he's
know what
doing
that
this,
means.
can't
Just
he?
Yeah. I mean, it's absolutely you Joker. If you're talking like Heath
Which
Ledger Joker.
okay.
Okay,
That's fair.
That's
fair. So I'm not talking like mafioso Joker. I'm talking like Heath. Like we'll go with the Dark Knight Joker. We'll go with the
yeah,
Dark Knight Joker.
Yeah,
like,
Dark Knight Joker. Yeah, it's
But
hard to beat.
even if
but
you
there's
go,
a lot of really bad Jokers. Too.
there are, depending on who wrote the particular comic or movie that you're watching. That's true.
And what era Joker? Because isn't there like three different
That's fair.
eras? Like,
Well, yeah,
age and like the 90s and
yeah.
shit. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
he's been retconned
he's
several
typing.
times.
He's typing.
But like
Say.
even like for
Loki?
example, I think Darkseid, Loki, okay,
Dr.
Doctor
Doom.
Doom, hell no. Doctor Doom is
How
not
about
as good as the
Magneto?
Joker. Magneto, I was talking MCU though.
Galactus.
All right.
So Magneto can be. Galactus, all right. Well, Galactus is fucking. So there's basically no difference between Galactus and Thanos.
Out of curiosity, do you like Thanos over
over
Joker?
Darkseid?
Not over
Oh.
Darkseid.
Oh, because him and
speaking
Dark.
of though,
They're
there's
the
death
same
battle of that.
fuck. Yeah, because they're the same. They're the exact same fucking character. They're just literally like Thanos is a reskin of fucking Darkseid.
Yeah, but
Which
didn't
is-
Marvel do that with a lot of people? Isn't
Yeah.
There Deadpool and then like Slater or something like
Yeah.
that?
So Wade Wilson versus Slade Wilson. Deadpool versus fucking yeah.
Yeah.
Deathstroke. Yeah. Deathstroke.
Venom.
Deathstroke is the more serious of the two characters. Venom and Carnage.
Right.
Okay, Venom and Carnage is fine, but I'm not talking comic books. I'm not talking comic
mean,
books.
He's-
I'm
he's-
talking
I-
There's a
I'm
Venom
talking
movie.
I'm talking MCU versus the movies. Like name a single character that is in the MCU villain wise other than Loki's a good example. Loki's a really good villain. But I still would say that the Joker's a better villain overall. Like the what they've done, although not Suicide Squad, not that Joker.
Yeah, I think I personally I really liked the Joker in the Dark Knight series, but
Yes.
I'd have to say Thanos for me is probably, and maybe this could be recency bias too. You got to think that Joker movie came out 10 years ago.
Yes.
maybe
Yeah.
longer. You know what I mean?
We were in high school
So,
for sure.
yeah. I know we were in high school, so so it might be a little bit of recency bias, and because I haven't seen it in so long. But Thanos, and maybe it also could just be because Thanos, it's Joker's pretty small scale. Thanos is not. Thanos is large scale.
Yes,
Is
that's true.
universal or universe like breaking shit going on here. So I don't know. But the Joker, the Dark Knight Joker was really really good.
But even if you just were building a roster of villains overall, and let's say
I don't know enough about.
Let's say I'm not in.
comics,
Okay, well, this would be more for Justin and Ian then. Let's say I'm not just talking MCU versus DC movies, right? Let's go with the overall roster. I would say that overall, the roster of villains that you get in DC is stronger than the roster of villains that you get in MCU. It's not that there's not good MCU villains. God damn it, Ian. I wish your voice was working for this, because this would be a really good conversation with you. But I think that if you were to build out, like, the fucking Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
That, it by itself, I don't think you have enough villains that you could do a great Legion of Doom with in the MCU versus the Avengers. I don't think you do. It's not that they don't have good villains on an individual hero basis, because they do, but I just don't think there's as many.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. My wife is a comic book nerd. I've always told everybody that even if I didn't want to see these Marvel movies, I would be forced to go see said Marvel.
Oh dear God!
Anyways.
What have I done?
Yeah, my wife said Joker can get bent. He's as overplayed as Superman at this point. What in the world has happened to the screen?
Nothing.
What are you doing?
I was trying to get Ian's name on there, and everything went horribly wrong.
You broke everything.
Doesn't help that his name is so fucking big. I guess. Jesus Christ. That's terrifying.
They should have done the Justice League as a mini series.
That would have been better. Yeah, why are we getting a Suicide Squad reboot already, but we haven't got any Legion of Doom shit?
Legion.
Where's the Legion of Doom?
Where's
my Legion of Doom?
I don't know how you can have a movie flop with Will Smith, but somehow DC found a way to fucking do it.
Will Smith was not the problem with that movie. There were a lot of problems with that movie, and it's mostly writing related. And the fact that Jared Leto is the worst Joker.
Right. But I'm just saying. Oh, Will Smith movies don't flop, and DC still found a way to fucking do it. They don't flop.
Mostly.
What was the last Will Smith movie that flopped, other than Suicide Squad?
Like Cody just said, Hancock. Hancock flopped. At the box office, it wasn't a bad movie, but it flopped. What the fuck happened to TJ?
He got timed out.
Why?
Why does it hate him so much?
What did he do? Oh, links. Yeah. If you're gonna post a link, let me know so I can permit you. Because the whole reason that's there is so people don't like just come in and just fucking do random shit to viruses.
DC movie rumor: Legion of Doom plans pushed back.
Where?
That's his link.
I don't know. Hey, can we talk about Mordhau real quick?
Yes,
please.
So we can end the.
Yes, we do need to talk about Mordhau.
Yes. Can we just say April 29th is when that game comes out?
So next week.
And that's all we're gonna play for the rest of our lives.
So there's a couple of games coming out in the next week here that are gonna be pretty good. Mortal Kombat 11, Mordhau
Combat 11.
Mordhau Combat 11.
Yeah. So we won't play that next weekend, but the weekend after. Probably be our after.
Probably.
How much does that game cost? Actually,
I don't know if there's a price out for it.
That's worrying to me.
Yeah.
It comes out in a week, and
I think it definitely gives Chivalry vibes, and we've talked about that. And it looks really cool. There are some things in it that I think, from what I've seen, could stand to be added. I hope. But
like what, Tim? Name a thing.
This is Justin's game.
It is.
You're tagging him personally if you say anything negative.
From what I've seen, it doesn't look so. Chivalry. One of the cool things about Chivalry was the amount of not the armor customization, because the armor customization was poop, but the amount of weapons that you could kind of put on your character and stuff. I haven't seen anything that would show me that there's as wide a variance in Mordhau. I hope I'm wrong on that. Maybe I just haven't seen as much
Buddy,
of it as you
you'll
have.
be wrong.
Okay.
Trust me. There's a pretty good variety.
I hope so. Oh
Okay,
God,
there's
why?
that. Ian.
Ian, did you unmute yourself? Wait, why do we hear us but not you?
Fascinating. He somehow created a loop.
Oh, buddy.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. He broke it.
Ian, you go ahead and just turn that back off.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
You did! No, don't tell me you didn't fuck up. Don't tell me you didn't fuck up.
now-
No, I
because
can't hear you. I'm lip
There's no
reading.
echo now.
I'm fucking lip
Oh, he
reading.
thought he got it. That's
No, he didn't get it.
funny.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Oh man, lost it.
Yeah, that was really loud.
Mm.
That one was really loud.
It's not that loud on my end, so I don't know why it comes out so loud.
The other
for you
two
guys.
weren't that bad. It was
Yeah.
that one, the Hello Darkness, my old friend. That was like shit.
It was not
Yeah.
that loud on my end. Oh God, the echo's
And now
back.
you're echoing.
Yeah.
Ian, we still don't hear you.
Should we
Goodbye.
move on to our closing thoughts?
Yeah.
We should.
Mordhau, we're going to play it.
Yes.
Not wrong.
We'll
Because
play it at some point.
It fills a void that everybody's wondering.
Because Bannerlord is never gonna
Yeah,
come
well,
out.
yeah, there hasn't been a medieval combat type game that's come out since the Viking expansion of Mount Blade.
Yeah, dude.
There
I need a
hasn't-
good first person
Well,
sworder.
no, I'm
2015?
gonna disagree with you there and say that you completely forgot about fucking Kingdom. Kingdom Come.
Kingdom Come
Deliverance.
Deliverance? That's a good point.
Yeah,
That's
good
where
fucking
single player
game.
There
offerings
hasn't,
go.
there hasn't,
There hasn't been a good
an-
multiplayer one though,
right.
Right.
and
Yeah.
I think that we're missing the chivalry void. That I'm still not sure why chivalry died because graphically it still holds up okay. Like it just
Yeah, you know,
Right.
people
it's
got
the
bored
kind of
with
game
it.
I would still play.
I think before we close up the show, I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on this. So we haven't had a game outside of say Mountain Blade that has had even with Mountain Blade actually this will count with it. It hasn't had high levels of long-term success. Like you can say that Mountain Blade still has a loyal player base that plays the multiplayer online. There are still players that play Chivalry multiplayer. There are still people who play Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast multiplayer. But when you compare it to shooters, melee-based multiplayer games seem to pop up and die really fucking fast. And I'm wondering what your guys' thoughts are on why that is.
Okay, I have
Those
a
are
few
always my
ideas.
favorite.
So one of the things that I've been reading about looking into Mordhau stuff is the developers talk about how with these kinds of games, you have kind of the core people who are like testing it, and once they open up the game to a wider audience, people who haven't played it don't have time to adjust to the new system before they just get raffle stomped to death over and over and they just say fuck it and quit playing. So I think a high skill ceiling is a big part of why these games
That's
don't
exactly
stick around
what it
long
is.
term. And then the only other thing I would think of maybe is like content. Like a lot of these games don't see content added to them over time the way you see with a lot of first person shooters.
Yeah, I look. For me, it's a skill. It's a skill level. It's a lot easier to point and shoot at something than it is to swing, block, react, and this, that, and the other thing. Jump around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a lot more
You would
involved.
think
It's
though,
so much
especially
more.
if you think about like the competitive gaming scene, you would think that like people who are say the people who love to watch things like Rainbow Six or
Right.
CS:GO, you would think that there would be an esports niche for this, and there's not
Yeah.
really.
It is strange.
Because when you're talking about things that are really high skill level in terms of that gap, you'd think that there would be something there, but there just doesn't seem to be.
Maybe Mordhau will be the one. Let's start an OLIP
mean,
Mordhau team.
I don't know. It's you gotta.
So
I don't know,
you're
I feel
saying
like you
you're
gotta
saying
put
that
a lot more time into it.
you're,
and
you're
people don't
hoping that
wanna do
with
that.
Mordhau people won't be disappointed and stuck saying
You were the chosen one.
God damn it, Tim.
You're the chosen cutout.
Yeah.
it said one. You were the chosen one.
Yeah,
I know
cut
what it
out
says. That's
after
not
it
what I
says
heard.
chosen.
Oh, okay. Well, you think that they're just gonna be more like
And there was much rejoicing.
that? Is that the thought?
Yeah,
I mean-
I have a thought though. Another thought beyond this.
Okay.
It's
What's
very.
up?
Can we give a shout out to TJ real quick? I don't know if
Oh,
you
did
guys
he,
heard.
yeah. Wait, did he make it?
He qualified
TJ is in
for
the
Champions
Championship
League. Yep.
baby.
Jesus Christ.
So he's not in the
Yep.
World Cup yet, but he can qualify
He's
for it
eligible
now,
for that qualifier.
You're
yeah,
way
yeah,
better
yeah.
at video games than I am.
He is
like a
much better at video
boss.
games than us. He's a god. So
He's going to be streaming his gameplay next Saturday here, I believe. If anybody wants to tune in and check him out. Do you
yeah.
want to maybe give him permission to a little linky poo there?
Yes, that's the plan.
And also, I talked with our business coordinator. He's going to get a full OLIP sponsorship when he makes it to Worlds. So, Tim,
Wait,
figure that out.
what business sponsorship?
We have no money, but we'll slap our name on your
Wait,
back.
did
We'll
you just
promote
did
ya.
you just say that we have a business coordinator?
Yeah.
Who's
I just
that?
made that up. It's,
It's
you.
you.
I
Good
thought I
luck.
was the technical director. If we're doing titles, Jesus.
All right, I'll be the business coordinator.
All right.
I decided.
Okay. So we'll slap our name on your back, TJ, and you can carry us to glory.
That's right.
There
I'd
you
pay
go.
for a little esports T-shirt for Teach.
Yeah,
would
we'll start an Our Life in Pixels esports team, and you can be the
Yeah, he can be the
face of
And
it.
coordinator. rep.
you can carry us. We'll buy a gigantic backpack for you to make it easier.
There's that sweet mixer right there, Mr. Hello
Yeah.
Banana. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Smosh that like button on his page there. I don't even know how this works, honestly. But I am following him.
Sarah says
hey,
hi.
boys. Hi.
Hi, Sarah.
She doesn't want to be on
Uh,
camera.
Hi.
There you
What
go.
do we want to play tonight, boys?
I don't know.
Boyos?
Buddy, I had so many suggestions already. Oh
You
my
did.
God.
I don't have Wensnoth.
It's on
Westnoth?
Steam.
It takes no time at all to download.
It's very
Westnoth.
small.
It's a turn-based, strategy game. How
it?
have you never played that? We played the shit out of that.
You guys have talked
Aw.
about
It was
for
a
years,
it's a
and
little
I've just
indie
never
game
happened
title
to play
forever.
it.
Now there's a mobile version of it. Though shout out to Battle for Wesnoth. What up though? We
you
down.
know.
I've had so many versions of that game. Like it's so good. It's so good.
It's great. It's got a single player campaign.
I
it's
believe
got
when
build your
we've
own
when
maps.
we've played against each other, I'm pretty sure I'm still undefeated because everybody was like,
Yes,
"Oh,
that's true.
Holland's gonna kick your ass," and
Oh my fucking
that
God.
didn't happen.
Can't believe that. What were you, undead? And he was like dwarves or something?
He was the dragons, so in theory he had an advantage
Oh,
over me
right.
too, because
Yeah.
the dragons should beat undead, but nope,
Shout out to Holland for fucking that up.
you fucked up. You fucked up.
Done fucked up.
But yeah,
hey,
no,
guys.
I've beaten Shane a couple of
Yeah,
times. I've beaten you. I've
those
beaten you
four-player
and Shane. I've
matches.
beaten Ben. I've beaten you guys in 1v1s. I've beaten you guys in free for alls. I've beaten you guys in 2v2s.
So yeah, here's the bounty. $10 for
$10
beating Tim and
to-
Westnoff.
Yeah, I'm not
Get it
paying.
done.
I'm not paying.
Oh no, I'll pay. That's
Okay, all right. I'm good with that.
fine.
Y'all are crazy.
Dude, Wesnoth is so fun.
I've never
Yeah, Cody,
played
give
it.
it a look. See if it looks.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm trying to find an email so I can download Temtem.
So you can download what?
Temtem. It's basically it's gonna be like Pokemon. I backed it on Kickstarter.
I thought
Oh.
you said Tim. I was like,
Tim.
No,
You gonna
No.
download me?
not everything's about you, Tim. You could have been the
Oh.
name of my dog, but you didn't want to.
Oh,
No,
turn
I-
that down.
I didn't
He
want
did
to.
turn it down.
He's talking about Dragon Age, by the way, and no,
Yeah.
I didn't want him calling his dog
Cow.
Tim.
Cow.
I didn't want him
Yeah, I would've
bitching
been
out
like- I would've
Tim
been like,
all the time
here,
for
Tim.
fucking up.
Come here, boy. Come
That
here.
would have been awesome. What'd you end up naming it?
Teats.
Oh.
I tried to get it. I tried to get him to name it Shitbag, and he was like, "No." He's like, "Should I name him Treats?" And I wrote Teats in the chat, and he's like, "Yes." It's like,
Nailed it.
Yeah, I
okay,
was like, let's go Teats.
all right.
Wanna treat Pete?
Wanna-
Wensnoth?
Wesnoth.
Wesnoth is
Let me.
downloaded.
All right, good. It'll
So
probably
it
take
does
like
have very
negative
positive
5
reviews.
seconds.
Yeah, it's
Reviews.
Yeah, it's really
fun.
good. It's very well made.
It's very dated.
Yes.
That is, it's
Oh God, yeah, I
what are
can't
we,
even remember.
2019. It's 16 years old.
Buddy.
So
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty great. Trust me.
Yo,
You
Twitch
know what, you
actually
can
has a
also play that
category
on
for
mobile.
it. Yep, it does. I wonder if there's crossplay for it,
That's a good question.
because I don't imagine that it would be super complicated to do that.
what?
To do
Westnoth?
to do crossplay for Wesnoth.
I don't know.
Why do you keep adding an extra S?
It's
Or- and you keep-
WES.
Say it real quick.
Westnoth?
There
Yeah,
you
he's got
go.
He's
Okay.
got it.
It just sounded goofy the first
West? No,
couple
no,
of times.
no. Like,
Yeah,
what did you think
Wen-
I was saying?
Wesensnoth?
Wesensnoth? Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Wenceslas?
Sloth.
Wenceslaus?
Yes.
Look, y'all,
Yo.
just smash that help button. All right.
Yeah, smash that help button. We need it.
Oh,
We're
we
not gonna be able to afford this
we
world
didn't
sponsorship.
we didn't even close the show. I already launched the game.
Tim, you're in
I
it.
have not.
I'm ahead of schedule.